Welcome to the Journal. On today's show, we feature the outstanding talent of singer-songwriter Richard Brown, an inside look at the TTC, and we learn a little more about Toronto's iconic St. Lawrence Market. After that, we'll take a look at a community food bank that looks to make the lives of those in need a bit brighter.
Later on, we'll also be exploring the tasty world of coffee, and we're off to the circus with a Toronto woman's new favorite stress relief technique. Thanks for joining us here on The Journal.
Welcome back. This is The Journal. Live from right here at Centennial College's Story Arts Center campus, produced by our very own broadcasting and film students. My name is Rosanna Cabas.
And I'm Ryan Weatherby. Thank you for spending the next half hour with us. If you're anything like me, your day doesn't begin until after that first cup of coffee. Want to know what really makes a difference in that perfect cup?
Well, Ryan, it's a great debate. Brewed or pod? Traditionalists will pick to wait while the almighty bean brews, whereas the latest trend for the past decade is the more convenient pot. In our next story, we hear from a traditionalist who isn't on board with this new trend. He presents a valid argument about why his bean will always outweigh the new pot coffee system. Let's hear what he has to say.
You wake up, make your coffee, then go about your day. But let's explore that cup of energy in your hands. What's not unknown is the fact that Toronto loves its coffee, but there has been a recent single-serve machine trend. What do coffee shops known for strictly using coffee beans such as the Green Beanery have to say about this trend?
My name is Patrick Farrell and I'm the manager of the Green Beanery. Here at the Green Beanery we don't carry single-serve machines. We support a little bit more of a enriched quality approach to brewing coffee. I think that quality of coffee is compromised a little bit with these little pod devices.
The quality is compromised? In what way? Take this typical Keurig box for instance. You're paying 80 cents per serving, which equals to $30 a pound. But you can get a pound of coffee at an average of $8. Now, let's take a look inside. K-cups are made of ground coffee, which age much faster than their bean counterpart. Fresh roasted coffee emits CO2, which doesn't get along with the K-cup's airtight design. The fact that cups do not explode shows a lack of freshness. While coffee beans can remain fresh for weeks, ground coffee only lasts for a few minutes. Stale coffee is not a good way to start the day.
And on a personal level, I think that it's really bad for the environment. There's yet been no ways to transition into recyclable pods, so they're just straight to the landfill. For many people, if they were to really reflect on the waste that it produces, they might have second thoughts.
Let's see this idea through. You're done with your K-cup. What is it made of? Plastic. It takes 450 years for plastic to decompose. CBC reported in 2015 that even the inventor himself, John Sylvan, regretted not making the pods recyclable. There is currently a campaign against the invention called Kill the K-Cup. Is convenience that important to us that we are willing to take a lower quality product that harms our environment? Now that I've spilled some coffee knowledge on you, I hope you make the decision to enjoy a higher quality coffee cup. You deserve it.
That definitely gave me a different view on that daily cup of joe. Still to come, we have a great Toronto artist. Head to the circus, a community lending a helping hand, a historic Toronto market, along with a little more about those daily train rides.
Everyone needs stress relief from that daily grind of work. It's great if you have a hobby, like heading to the gym or curling up on the couch with a good book, but what about those people who are more adventurous, that want to push themselves outside of their comfort zones?
Well, Ryan, our next documentary is talking about just that. The Hercinio Arts Collective is nestled in Liberty Village and gives adventurous types a way to de-stress and exercise in a new way. Let's see what a typical first class is like.
wanted to try this class to challenge myself. I consider myself a very active person, and it makes me feel really good to be physically active. I'm constantly on a pursuit to find something that combines art and grace and music, good music, and high energy. We'll see how it is.
My name's Natalie Parkinson, and I'm a co-founder of Her Cine Arts Collective. We specialize in doing a lot of performance work. So we just like bringing people together to work on shows and events that we do. We run a lot of monthly art parties, and then we also teach classes. I find the best experience is the community feeling, because the classes are really small, so they're able to really learn at their own pace but also be able to be challenged, and the teacher can always constantly see what they're working on. I find that people become closer together, so everyone's working together and cheering for each other. I encourage anyone to just try something new, regardless of what it is. And it's usually the things you're scared of that you're least likely to do, and those are the things you sometimes need to do to move forward in your life or to, you know, feel like you can accomplish something.
I like the idea of pushing my limits and learning new things.
That's a new way to get some exercise in Toronto. I never knew there's all these little neat places around the city other than your typical gym. More to come include a church initiative to help those in need, we get fresh at the St. Lawrence Market, and we take a ride on the TTC.
Next on our show, we have Richard Brown performing I'll Never Leave You, live right here in the studio. Richard is the singer-songwriter of the Toronto pop-punk band Fly. Fly was brought to our attention earlier this season through their story, Fly on the Wall. Richard's songs are a blend of his love of punk with melodic pop sensibilities, helping Fly become a can't-miss band on the Toronto music scene. This is Richard with you, I'll Never Leave You.
In the middle of the night, I hear your screams that give you fright. You be cold and chilled as a bone, but when I'm not there, I'm on the phone. 'Cause my heart will be your warmth, and my heart will be your warmth. 'Cause this is what I wanna say. When I saw your pretty face, I knew never get replaced. 'Cause you were the angel that fell from heaven, the one I had and the one I treasured. But I know I never leave you. 'Cause I knew your shivers coming night when the moonlight is shining bright. You be content and lost in your way, but hopefully you'll come back one day. 'Cause my heart will be your warmth, and my heart will be your warmth. 'Cause this is what I wanna say. When I saw your pretty face, I knew you'd never get replaced. 'Cause you were the angel that fell from heaven, the one I had and the one I treasured. But I know I never leave you. Would think that there was something wrong, but I know what we were was strong. 'Cause you may hurt me, you may leave me, but I won't leave you after what I wanna say. When I saw your pretty face, I knew you'd never get replaced. 'Cause you were the angel that fell from heaven, the one I had and the one I treasured. But I know that this is what I wanna say. When I saw your pretty face, I knew you'd never get replaced. 'Cause you were the angel that fell from heaven, the one I had and the one I treasured. But I know I never leave you.
Well, what a great performance that was. Thanks for being on the show today, Richard. We just had a few questions we wanted to ask you. First of all, when did you start playing music?
I started playing music back in grade 4. The first instrument that I learned was the trumpet, and then in grade 6, I started picking up the drums, so I played drums for about 5 years. I always wanted to be like a singer-songwriter, so that's why I started learning the guitar in grade 10, and from there on, this is where I am now.
Very nice. Now, who are some of your main musical influences? Pardon me.
My main influences are like Green Day, Backstreet Boys, Simple Plan, Sum 41, just so how I got my pop sound.
Very nice. I can definitely see that. Now, Fly is your main musical focus. How did you decide to start a band rather than going solo?
I started a band because I did go solo actually at one point, and I realized the songs that I was writing weren't exactly meant for like acoustically solo. It was meant for like a band. So I started looking for the members, and eventually I found the right people.
Very nice. What's the best part of being in your band, Fly?
The best part is the guys, like Ryan, Jesse, and Chris. Like without them, the band would exist because we're like a family, and they're my best friends.
Very nice. And do you have anything exciting coming up?
Coming up this summer, we have an EP that we're going to be working on. It's going to be about 6 songs. We hope to play a bunch of shows over the GTA and hopefully a few outside. And then after that, we're going to be recording a music video in the beginning of the school year.
Very nice. Well, Richard will be performing for us again later. Stay tuned for that. What's up next, Rosanna?
Today we have a story that is sure to warm your heartstrings. The Glen Roads United Church Food Bank isn't your typical food bank. Every week they serve hundreds of meals to help the local Girard and Coxwell community. Dee, the food bank's coordinator, will explain more. Let's hear about it.
I'm Dee, and I'm one of the coordinators / volunteer. I've been doing this for 11 years. The food bank has been here for over 20 years, so we've been serving clients for over 20 years here. So we're a food bank, and we're in Little India, so we help people here in the area. Started with a community dinners and a drop-in, and then community dinners is a meal that we have here once a month. It's on every 4th Monday of every month, except for December, because December we wouldn't have the volunteers. So, and to do a dinner, you probably need a good team. You need at least, anywhere between 5 to 10 people to cook, a meal. And then we serve approximately anywhere between 130 to 225 people. We have a big bin upstairs, and people will come in with cans of vegetables, pasta, all stuff, all non-perishable items. They will be donated in that bin, and then the bin comes down, and then we put it away on Monday morning when we come in. That's one place. We have places in the community. There's a store right beside us on Craven. It's called Victoria Foods. They keep donating meats to us. Like they'll give us, a nice big round piece of turkey where we can cut up, make sandwiches, or to give out in the hampers, and to give us some ham. And we have Lazy Daisy. They'll give us some of their desserts, and the Flying Ponies are one of the biggest ones in the area. Every Wednesday they give us snacks and croissants and muffins and all that stuff, so we can serve for breakfast to our clients here. We have 4 people that work the vegetable table right here behind me, and what they do is they'll go through with a knife and they'll cut up, the bad stuff. Like, we're not going to throw a whole carrot because the end of it is black. So what they'll do is they'll go through everything by hand, and then they'll cut off the bad pieces, and then we just set it out there and people take it, right? So.
I came here today to the Glen Roads United Church Food Bank to donate some non-perishable food. In the past several years, I've met several people who, through no fault of their own, have lost their jobs, their homes, and rely heavily on the food bank. And for that reason, I'm here today to donate some non-perishable foods. I'll go home tonight to a lovely meal, and I hope that this will help somebody else have a dinner tonight.
People start lining up around 8 o'clock. They start lining up, and by the time we open the doors at 9, there's sometimes anywhere between 75 to 80 to 90 people in line waiting to come in. It lines up all the way, comes across this front of the church. That's how many people are waiting to come in. And then they come down the stairs, and we have 3 computers set up, and then at one of the computers all the numbers are there, so they take the number 1, 2, 3, 4. They take numbers, and then they go to the kitchen window, they'll get their breakfast, and then they'll be called in to register. And once they register, they can go to the vegetable table and get their vegetables there. And then we have people that take the sheet that they've just registered on, and they'll bring it to the back hamper room here, and then they'll fill out their hampers, and then we bring them out, and we call the numbers again, they pack it up, and they're out the door. So that's how basically it runs, yeah. And some of them will sit here the whole 2.5 hours that we're open in the morning. They'll sit here and have coffee, and just some of them made friends, and they're all from the neighborhood, so they all know each other. So some of them will stay here the whole time and just chit-chat and drink coffee. And some of them, they just come and get their food and leave. We get like 16 protein, so then they can pick and choose. We're not going to give them 16 dozen of eggs, so we let them pick and choose. They could get some Spam, they could get tuna, they could get some of that sausage, they could get a mix of stuff. So, and they would get a large milk, they would get more yogurt, that kind of stuff. So, but again, it's still only for 2 to 3 days of food that we give them. So. 3 years later, our numbers are like 130 to 140 in the morning, and about 120 to 130, even probably more, depending on the time of the month. Also, yeah, that's how much they've grown. They've tripled.
What a unique food bank with some wonderful volunteers to help run it. Stay tuned as we travel the rails of the TTC and another spectacular performance still to come.
Back to the topic of food, have you ever been to St. Lawrence Market? The food there is amazing. It's the oldest city market in Toronto and offers everything you can think of.
That's right, Ryan. Toronto's biggest food market has been around since 1803. I can't wait to hear some stories behind it and how it's changed over the years. Let's take a look. In the center of historic Old Town Toronto, close to the core of today's downtown, sits the Grand St. Lawrence Market. Honored as the world's best food market by National Geographic in 2012, the charming market features over 120 artisans and merchants. Built in 1904, this industrial complex was Toronto's most prominent industrial area. It is a place where the authenticity of the shopkeepers is imprinted in the delicious food and crafted goods they sell.
St. Lawrence Market is selling gourmet food and from all over the world, and it's an attraction for tourists, and so it's very unique.
The thing that makes us more unique is like you have all this experience. People who are qualified, they've been here for so many years. They get the experience behind the whole thing. This puts us in a higher category of groups as a #1 market in the whole world. We do local stuff because our stuff is fresh. We do all Ontario products. We support the farmers in a sense.
What a great piece of history in our own backyard.
The TTC has been a Toronto mainstay since it first started its operating in 1921. It's an essential means of transportation for Torontonians, moving over 2 million people around the city daily.
That is incredible. If you're a TTC rider, you might take for granted what it takes to keep the trains running. Our next story is about one of the unsung heroes of your daily commute, subway train driver Brian Lewis. Let's check it out.
We're sitting in the operating cab of the T1, and we're pulling into Victoria Park Station. What I'm doing right now is garden. The best part of my day is actually when people come off the train and actually say thanks for getting them where they're going. Well, I'm Brian Lewis, and I'm a TTC subway operator. It can be stressful at times if you let it get to you. That's why you have to like dealing with people, because like I said, on a daily basis, you're going to meet people who love you and people who don't like you. And you have to remember, it's not you they don't love. They're just upset because something didn't work out for them that day, and you're the guy that's going to get blamed. So you have to be able to balance those things. If you let it get to you, yes, it can be very stressful. If you're not sleeping right, you can get, that can add more stress to your work. But if you're able to manage these factors, it's not a hard job. You go in, someone's upset, you explain to them as best you can, what's happening. Usually they just want to know that you listen to them and that you actually spend the time to respond to their concerns. And usually they go away happy. But if you take it personally and you think they're attacking you and you start being aggressive towards them, then it could turn into a confrontation and you're going to be stressed and it gets escalated. So when you hear delays on the subway and you hear that personnel are en route, that personnel that are on scene is usually the guard. He's a first responder. Now we're pulling into Warden Station and we're going to switch sides.
Arriving at Warden Station.
This has been another amazing season of The Journal. I can't think of a better way of ending it than with a second performance by Richard Brown, which is coming up.
This has been a great season with some incredible stories. We have witnessed 21 diverse and intriguing documentaries alongside 4 immensely talented artists, showcasing the best of what our city and school have to offer.
A new crop of entertaining stories and students will be returning next March live from Centennial College's Story Arts Center. Signing off for now, this is The Journal.
I used to think when I was young could be a hero for you, but you wouldn't believe me until I saved you. But now you left me torn apart and alone with my fears to conquer, but there's nothing that's gonna make them clear. But now it's getting tough and I'm losing control. All you wanna do is break my heart and soul. But now it's getting tough and I'm losing control. All you wanna do is break my heart and soul. I'm broken into pieces.